Okay, so before I show you the new plaques,
Okay.
I gotta show you where it started, I guess you could say. We're gonna actually move all these over there.
Okay.
Because as the company's grown, originally this wing was gonna be the company, and then I was gonna use the other part for the open shared workspace. Well, now we have the whole damn building. This is Boat and Motor Dealer 2006.
Oh.
A whole article about how we were selling fishing boats on the internet. 2006, it's 2022 right now.
Right.
And there's businesses that still aren't leveraging the internet. But this is an article you can see, young Matt there. I think I got glasses in that. Yeah, glasses in there, yeah.
Yeah, you do.
And then this was 2004. This was the Cincinnati Business Courier when we built this new location, which is actually now Kona Ice. Kona Ice's headquarters is this building.
Oh, wow.
But this talked about us going into business, and I think there's some stuff in here about the marketing. And then these are, actually this one's 2005.
Wow.
So this was where we were featured here on different things you could buy for the holidays.
Hold on.
What?
Go ahead and buy that 50-inch plasma.
Plasma, yeah. So, okay, let's go full circle, because now
Okay.
I'm going to show you the two things that Sierra brought back today.
So now we're going from the boating
boating to
to
here.
food and restaurants.
Okay, so 2016, I wrote a book, which I told you has never been published, called Create Your Own Radio Station. It's a concept of leveraging social media and email and text and all that stuff as your marketing venue for your business.
Okay.
Never published it because it wasn't really well done, and the publisher's like, dude, the title makes no sense. So I had this idea for a restaurant book, because we, in 2015, realized we had a magic solution, not magic, we had a solution to help restaurants tangibly see the efforts of their marketing.
Okay.
And we did it from 15, 16, 17. Started with Hofbrau's Newport.
Right. Remember
And
that.
went up the pipeline. Well, 2018 comes, we had went national 2017, meaning we only had clients here for a long time, just Cincinnati area. And we decided to go all over the country. So I'm at a conference, I had this book idea, but I couldn't figure out how to put it on paper.
Okay.
And so the guy at the seminar I went to, it was Traffic and Conversions. It was in 2018. This guy had a seminar up there. It was like 30 or 40 seminars. I picked 5 up and went to this one. So, okay, take a piece of paper out and right in the middle of it and circle it, what's the purpose of the book? And the purpose of my book was to teach restaurants how to put butts in seats. He had a whole process he went through of how do you do that? And so I'm like, well, we teach them how to use social media, Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, Pinterest, email, text, messenger, in-house marketing. And that was the first time I literally, a light bulb went off, like, shit, I know the book. I got on the plane, flying back from San Diego, and blueprinted chapter 1 all the way to chapter 12, what dates I was gonna do. And the guy's comment was, if you're writing a book about something you actually 100% know and you're passionate on, you don't need notes. You should easily be able to sit down and speak it out loud. And so this is what I sat down with on this book, and I wrote chapter 1, Create Your Own Radio Station Concept. I put a camera in front of me, and I recorded me talking for about 15 minutes, downloaded it got transcribed, we edited it, began the book. And so this is the extent, literally, the extent of the entire book, notes.
But you took his advice and spoke it out loud on the
Oh, yeah.
camera in order to take that, turn it into.
Oh, because it drives
That's
me
how I would operate too.
It drives me crazy. I go to a seminar and I'm watching a guy speak, and every 5 seconds he's looking at his slides. Like, why are you looking at your slides? This is what you do for a living.
Yeah.
You should just be one word.
Yeah.
And so that's what this was. Every single one you can see. ManyChat and Messenger. Software is needed. Why offers? I don't know what the hell that even says. Sunthirst. Who knows? Bad handwriting.
It made sense then.
Yeah.
It led to this, so it worked. It worked.
And then there's the book. Now this one is a cool story. This actually came.
Yeah, what is that?
So this came a year after this, and y'all haven't even heard this story. You know the story. This, I know Matt Plapp came from 2000. Actually, this might have been before this. This might have been the fall of 2000. This was the fall of 2017. So for about 2 years, I had been mentoring people through a Facebook group for a guy named Billy Jean Shaw out of California. Billy Jean. No, I'm just gonna start him. But I had been mentoring people through his Facebook group and just being honest on how to develop a marketing firm. And there was no money for it. I had no clue how well it was working with regards to people watching it. But apparently my videos in his group were one of the most watched videos because they were just raw. Like, hey, here's how I get clients. Here's how we treat clients. Here's how we retain clients. Here's how I hire employees. And so I've been doing this. Well, around the same time, go out to his conference. And the whole 6 months before this conference, like from like May, June, July, August, September, up to like October, I think is when it was, 17, I'm getting friend requests all the time. I don't know these people. And I had this rule, like, I'm not accepting a friend request if I don't know who the hell you are, because you're not a friend.
Fair.
Well, occasionally somebody would message and say, hey, Matt, I'm so-and-so from Billie Jean's program. I love what you're doing. I want to connect. Well, Luis Rivera, our host, was one of those people.
Okay.
So I'm in California at this event, and I was talking about how I got all these friend requests. Like, people would walk by like, oh, hey, Matt. And that was like early on wearing the orange shirt.
Okay.
And so I was real recognizable for that reason.
Sure.
And so I had no clue who these people were. And I kept saying, I don't know who the hell these people are. And they're like, Matt, it's from the group. And I'm like, well, how do they know me? And Billy's like, your videos are the #1 watched videos in here. Okay,
Wow.
cool. Well,
Okay.
I told him a story. I was telling him how I get all these friend requests. I don't know who they are. And I decline them all. And so, because people had walked up and said, hey, I friended you, but you didn't accept it.
Right.
And I'm like, I don't
who
know
the hell
you.
you are. Yeah.
And
Thank
so,
you.
so I tell him a story. Me and a buddy of mine, Brendan Scanlon, and Brendan was the consummate networker, owned BNI in Cincinnati, RIP. And we're standing like, because you always had to stand like this in the open. So if somebody walked up. We're at a Chamber of Commerce event, and no shit, I'm not making this up. This guy walks up to me and goes, hey, what's going on, guys? And starts shaking our hands like, yeah, out of nowhere, I'm good friends with Matt Plapp.
Wait.
To me and
you.
Brendan.
He said that to you.
Yeah. And so I'm looking at Brendan, and I'm like, thinking Brendan's, fucking with me.
Yeah.
And so the guy leaves a couple minutes later, and I go, yeah, whatever, jerk. And he goes, what? I go, who? The guy you set up to say, I know Matt Plapp. And he goes, I thought you knew him. I go, I don't know who he is. I said, man, I don't know if I should feel bad the fact he's dropping my name at a networking event.
Right.
Or that he's dropping my name to me.
To me, in bragging that he knows a person.
And
that
so at that point, Luis goes, I know Matt Plapp. And so for whatever reason, Matt Peterson and Luis and a couple other guys made up like 5 of these posters, these little signs. And they bought iknowmattplapp.com that night on the internet and had a website the next day for it. And so when Billie Jean's up on stage at this conference, like 500 people, I'm in the front row in my orange shirt.
Right.
Because that's also where the orange started. I'll tell you that in a second. In the front row, because I was a VIP, I was one of 6 people Billy coached one-on-one.
Okay.
And they got all the other people. And they got cameras in the crowd that when you asked a question, they put you up on the big screen on stage.
Yep.
And every time somebody would stand up, you would see behind their head an I know Matt Plapp sign. And Billy's like,
What?
what
Come on.
the hell's going on here? And I'm like, I know Matt too. And so that became the joke. Well, then Matt Peterson gave this to me, and I've had it ever since then. Well, the concept of it also was at the same conference, ironically, a guy named Mark Lack got up and was speaking on business. And he said, hey, what's the reason, and this is relevant to restaurants as well, any business, what's the reason that people are not doing business with you? And people get the microphone like, oh, our prices or our offer or this or this. And he goes, you're all wrong. The only reason people are not doing business with you is they do not know you.
That's a good point.
He's like, at the end of the day, if you have a good product, you're likable,
Yeah.
service, and they know you and understand you, they will do business with you.
Yeah, and it proves the point because it took on a life of its own
Yep.
as you are at this conference, and every time someone asks a question, the sign pops up in the back, which then leads to more recognition.
Yep.
And so it's almost it proves the point right there at the conference.
So a sidebar, at that conference, I'm walking down the hallway, and Billy's a big name. Like, he's got an entourage of 5 or 6 people with him, camera guys. I don't bug him at events because he's a huge name in the business.
Okay.
And so he's over there, and he goes, hey, what? What are you wearing? I'm wearing, he gave us a shirt that said, just fucking do it. And he
Okay.
basically threatened everybody at the conference, wear this shirt on day 2. We're doing a big video with a big, what do they call those, cranes?
Like a jib camera?
Yeah, big
jib
camera
shot.
up in the air.
Yeah.
Everybody's got to wear the shirt. So I wore the shirt. And he goes, you wear orange. Well, back it up a little, it was like 6 months to a year before that. I would start doing video. Every Monday I would record like 30 or 40 videos.
Okay.
All
30
day.
or 40?
Oh, yeah. And then we would chop them up and we would distribute them. Well, on complete accident, I wore an orange golf shirt a few of those Mondays.
Okay.
Well, you do 30 or 40 videos, they get chopped up into 200 videos times 3 Mondays.
Oh, so they all had the orange
Next
shirt.
thing you know, so Billy walks over and he goes, what are you wearing? I go, your shirt. You like threatened our lives. He goes, you only wear orange. I go, what are you talking about? He goes, you fucking with me right now? I go, I don't think so. And he pulls his phone out and goes, my YouTube channel. He shows me. And every video, I'm wearing orange. And he goes, Matt, that's an accident? I go, yeah. He's like, when people call us up and ask for help with restaurant marketing, we tell them Matt Plapp, and they go, oh, the guy in orange. He's like, so here's the new rule. You never are not to wear orange again. And so he's like, go back to your hotel. I was staying at a different hotel where the event was the Hard Rock in San Diego. Go back to your hotel and get a different shirt on. So I went back to my hotel, got an orange golf shirt, came back to the event, and I was the only guy in the crowd that day with the orange shirt on.
Yeah, you got this jib shot,
which
a
is
sea of black
yeah,
shirts,
and
and
it's
then
me.
and then like you're the eye of the fish.
And
with
so
the
that's
orange right
where
there.
the orange shirt came from. Then it went to orange shoes. Then it went to orange cars, and now it's orange office. And who are these people? What are you guys all wearing orange? Look at these people. We had I know Matt Plapp. That was my first podcast. Was I know Matt Plapp, and it sucked.
Brilliant. I
we
think
did.
it's a brilliant
it
idea.
It was terrible. We did like 6 episodes. Dan was on it. Doug was on it. It was a terrible podcast. It made no sense. It was because I didn't have any vision. I had a good guest, my dad, but there was just no vision behind it. So there you go.
No, there's a missing part.
There's a missing
What?
part. Hold
We're
up.
missing something.
Hold up. Marketing guy.
Missing part.
You gotta tell everyone how important that sign is to you.
Oh.
Your marriage almost ended because of that sign.
So
Whoa.
here's another funny part about
Welcome to
this.
the Maury
Okay,
Show,
wait,
ladies and
we
gentlemen.
need to back this up a little bit. The first time I've ever traveled for you. This is the first trip ever.
Stayed at my house.
Yeah, I stayed at your house. You're getting ready to sell your house.
Yeah, so we're listing our house for sale. We were getting ready to sell it. This was the February before COVID. No, January before COVID.
Okay.
I had this in my home office. That tape, it was taped to the tray of a whiteboard. It had hung there for like, at that point, 3 years.
Okay.
And I always looked at it as motivation. Like, people
Sure.
gotta know Matt Plapp. And I come home and David's with me. We come home and me and my wife, we've been together, it's like 26 years, like 27 years this August. Wow. Very few arguments. We're too similar. It's just, whatever, leave me alone, going away. And I come home and I go to my office and all my shit's gone. Like, everything's gone from the office. I'm like, what happened? The realtor came in and gave me all this list. We had to get rid of everything
Oh, to
that
stage the
to
house.
stage the house. And I'm like,
Oh man.
where's my I know Matt Plapp? I threw that shit away. Yeah, I'll say,
Whoa.
I lost my shit.
She told you she threw it away?
I lost my shit. Like, I'm like, what do you mean threw it away? I went nuts. And so I guess she realized, because I never do that, it pissed me off.
Yeah.
That it was she went out into the recycle bin, because she's an avid recycler, dug through it, found it. It was covered in all sorts of like gooey, like not like.
I was
like
wondering, I mean,
stuff. And
she
she
did a
took
pretty good job.
it. She took it and wiped it off, and then had it drying, and like the next day gave it to me. So
Oh my
sorry,
God.
honey, I was a jerk, but I got it back. There's the
that's
long
great.
story. What started off as just telling a couple-minute story led to like a 4-hour documentary. Now I've got to meet with this lady, who now knows that I yelled at my wife. See ya.